A new off-Broadway play is honoring America's 34th president with a script based on President Dwight Eisenhower's actual words. Eisenhower, This Piece of Ground, is a look at the legacy of one of America's most important leaders. Joining us now, Tony Award winner John Rubenstein. He stars in the one-man production as President Eisenhower. Thanks so much for being with us. Tell us about this play and how you approach this iconic figure, what point in his life we find him.
Well, it all takes place during one day, about a year and a half after his second term as president. He's retired. He's in Gettysburg on the farm where he and Mamie retired. And he reads an article in the New York Times Magazine that ranks the presidents. It's 75 historians put together by Arthur Schlesinger, and they have ranked all of the presidents so far up to that point. And he comes down at a very low number, and he is incensed. He's hurt. He's angry. And he's in the middle of recording on a tape recorder with his editor a new book about his presidency. He's already written one about his experiences in the war. And that is the device during which, during the play, he unfolds a big story about his entire life up to that point. And it's very inspiring stuff.
So, John, Dwight Eisenhower, in the moment, of course, was an American hero for his leadership in the war, D-Day in particular. Historians since then have actually got a much more favorable view of his presidency as well. But tell us how you prepared for this role. Were you poring over Eisenhower footage? How did you try to inhabit a man that, to so many Americans, they knew so well?
Well, mostly I did it with his voice. I listened to a lot of tapes of him talking. And it was a sort of a vernacular, a sort of a sound and an approach to speaking that I was familiar with from people that I'd known in my life very well. And I just started from the sound of his voice. And then the playwright, Richard Hellison, wrote the play in such a way that it would be perfect for Eisenhower to say. It wasn't written in somebody else's voice. So the moment I started saying the words of the play, I felt that I was Eisenhower and I was in it. And I feel that every night.
You know, this is Susan Page. Of course, Eisenhower's reputation with historians has improved since that early ranking shortly after his presidency. Having kind of immersed yourself in Dwight Eisenhower, what do you think Americans don't understand? What will they understand through your performance that perhaps they didn't realized before about the man?
Well, I think Eisenhower, even somebody like me who lived through his presidency and even met him once at the White House, we all thought of him as just a good old guy. He was bald and he played a lot of golf and he was sort of grandpa. And that was about it. We knew he was a great hero in World War II, but his presidency, we weren't that aware of him. I, as a young boy and early teenager, knew very much about the thing in Little Rock with Governor Faubus and the Arkansas National Guard and the kids trying to go to school who were prevented from doing so by the crazy racist mob. But basically that was it. And in this play, you learn about how deft of a politician he really was, how he was able to get things done and accomplished, and his heart, no matter how, he was arguably one of the most powerful men in the world. He ran the European theater during the war. He was the first commander of NATO. He was the president of Columbia University, and then he was president of the United States for 8 years. Great power, but his focus all through all of that was caring about the people he was responsible for. And that's what we don't hear that often anymore from our politicians, do we?
No, we don't. Not enough. And John, I'm curious, for you as an actor who's done it all on Broadway, won Tony Awards, Drama Desk Award, been directed by Bob Fosse, but never done this, a one-man play. What was that experience like for you to stand alone on the stage? What's it been like?
Well, it's both exhilarating because I love the material, and I feel the audience being informed, because we all, me included, learned a lot about Eisenhower doing this, but they get inspired to see, wait a minute, it's possible for a politician to actually be concerned, to feel responsible for the people he represents. So there's a great feeling of hope and inspiration for the future that happens at the end of the play. But for me personally, it's a little lonely, you know. Doing a play, it's usually you meet the people in the cast, you all get together, you have a great time, you rehearse, and then you perform for the people, and it's teamwork and community. And now it's just me walking out there by myself. So yeah, it's sort of a challenge that way.
Well, by all accounts and by the reviews, you certainly are pulling it off. Eisenhower, This Piece of Ground, is playing now at the Theater at St. Clement's in New York City. It runs through July 30th. John Rubenstein, a pleasure to have you on this morning. Thanks for being with us.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for being here.